Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal, the Crystalline Priestess, intuitive evolutionary astrologer and psychic tarot reader, and today is the daily horoscope for Thursday, the 5th of September 2024. So my loves, let's hop into it. Mars has just moved into Cancer. So we're 2 days after that new moon, and we've just had Mars finish his intense major square with Neptune, and now he is in his most hated sign of good old Cancer. So positives and negatives with this, you know, with all astrological placements, even if the planet is in its happiest place, there will always be negatives, there will always be positives. So with the North Node being very, very active today, it feels as though with Mars moving into Cancer, there's a very big red warning flag, I think, that's coming up when it comes to our relationships at the moment, especially because we have Venus, South Node, and Lilith, and the Moon all making their conjunction this morning, today. It's really, really pretty intense, and with Mars actually being the dispositor of the North Node, and all of these planets opposing the North Node, while we have where is Venus? You know, Venus is stuck here. So Venus is opposing all this, and it's really got us in this energy of feeling really, I think, uncomfortable. I think there's a big discomfort that's coming in today. Thursday. So we have Venus in Cancer in the 12th house coming out. So we're really deep in our feels, I think, on Thursday, and it feels like we're trying to be as comfortable as possible in the midst of this really weird discomfort feeling. So we've just had that new moon that was in an opposition with Saturn. Now the moon's moved into her opposition. She's moved away. She's had her opposition with Neptune now, and now she's with Lilith and the South Node and Venus. So the moon's been going through a lot emotionally. This has been a really heavy week. There's been a lot that's coming up for us to process and to work through, and there's a lot of feelings of loss, I think, that are coming through. Maybe it's feeling like a sense of our identity has almost been stripped away from us over these sort of past few weeks. And now, you know, Pluto is officially in Capricorn again. He's going direct, I think, in maybe October or November. Don't quote me, I always forget. But, you know, we still have a little bit of time with Pluto being here. And so this is a really big week of just, like, I've spoken to this every single day this week, but today feels particularly like it's a day of really needing to see the changes that we're making and to accept the fact that they're not going to be as easy as we wanted. So with all of this happening on the South Node, we've got these four sort of, I suppose we have one planet, we have one node, we have the moon, and we have an asteroid. So it's not all planets, but it is four very potent energies that are really significantly coming up. And with it being Libra, and with it being a little bit in like a negative sort of, how do I say this, like a negative reception, in my opinion, just because with Lilith there and with the South Node, this can be people getting a little bit lost in the weeds and trying to make things easier, too easy, you know? The Sun is moving closer and closer to its exact opposition with Saturn at the moment. We're going to have that in the next few days. So it's definitely feeling like today is a day we have disruption at the bottom of the deck, which is the Tower card. So it feels like Thursday is a day where we're not feeling our best, and we have recognition and reward coming out as well, with shadow at the bottom of the deck, and the shadow was kind of coming out in the reverse. So it feels as though with this opposition to Saturn, and maybe with all these planets in this opposition to the North Node in Aries, and North Node in Aries is still with Chiron, even though they're far apart, they're still together. So basically this is feeling like we're having to deal with maybe not being as far ahead as we want to be. Maybe we haven't reached the pinnacle of success that we were yearning for. Maybe we haven't reached the place that we wanted to get to yet. You know, with the Sun being in an opposition with Saturn, this is us feeling as though we haven't actually quite gotten the daily life to meet with the dream yet. We haven't gotten our actual lifestyle to fully meet with what it is that we're truly wanting. And I feel like with all this Venus energy that's coming out, a lot of us are feeling maybe a little bit uncomfortable around money and resources, and you know, it even feels like the way we look, you know. I feel like there's and even for me, like, I'll use this as an example, like I feel so annoyed at my hair lately because it's just in a really awkward phase of its life, and it's in this weird growing phase with it all up the top, and it's kind of like crazy. And so it feels as though we're in an awkward growing phase, and this is still like, Thursday is a day where we're looking in the mirror and going, damn it, I still look like shit. But I can tell that my hair is growing. I can tell that, you know, things are getting better. There are improvements, but it still looks like shit, you know? So this is us today having to just kind of deal with the fact that even though it's exciting, even though there is forward movement, there is momentum, there is movement, recognition and reward is out here. And the Tower card is out here as well. So this could even be, you know, it's a day where maybe you are actually received for something, and that in itself is a trigger because maybe you're not ready to stand in this power yet. Maybe you're feeling emotionally like somebody else is better than you. Maybe you're feeling, because all this Libra, it's very much people-pleasing energy. It's very much trying to look a certain way, to look the part. So it feels as though this is definitely a day that is asking for us to, I think, have compassion for the hard work that we're needing to put into our lives at the moment. Have compassion for us in the building of this discipline, in the building of this version of ourselves, because we've never been this version of ourselves before. You've never been this version of you before. How can you expect to know exactly how to master it overnight? You know, this is us needing to learn with the Queen archetype at the bottom of the deck. This is like a slow energy. With the Queen, a queen is literally like, she's a queen for life. She's born into this shit. So this is pretty much us realizing that we were born to receive the vision. We were born to receive the dream. We were born to live out our dream in a way, or live out our life in a way that feels truly beautiful. You know, that's what Venus is. And Venus in Cancer, in Pisces, you know, with our Astro dice, or in the 12th house, is all about absolute beauty. This is like, Venus loves Pisces and Venus loves Cancer. So even though we have this aspect in the astrology where Venus is really caught up between two really weird energies, we got the moon there and it's all in an opposition with the North Node, this is basically just, because it's nodal, this is a very destined day, Thursday, and it's a destined week all in general because it's a big week and it's our last new moon before the eclipses begin. But it's definitely kind of a day where it's asking for us to pay attention to some of the subtle feelings, to some of the subtle emotions, to some of the subtle, even, what do you call them? Like, what's the word? Impulses. That's the word I'm getting. Impulses. Like, pay attention to your impulses, because you might be feeling impulsively called to take the easy road at the moment. And that's very, Libra is very much the diplomacy thing. And so at the moment, you actually, especially with Mars having just hit 0 degrees of Cancer, this is about needing to be in your personal sovereignty and to be caring for how you feel, and caring for how you feel in a way that actually still has you making moves, because Mars, Cancer, still has to be making moves even though emotionally he doesn't want to, because that's why Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer, because Mars wants to be in signs where it's like all fire and it's like go. That's why the detriment is Cancer, because he's actually exalted in Capricorn, because Capricorn gets shit the F done. Mars wants to get shit the F done. Cancer doesn't really want to get shit done. Cancer kind of wants to chill and, you know, relax and be cozy, and, you know, Cancer's a warrior, but Cancer also knows that the warrior has to be fed. The warrior has to be nourished. The warrior has to, like, if the warrior doesn't have a home to come home to, what's he fighting for on the battlefield? So this is about us knowing what we're fighting for. Why are we building this? Why are we doing this? And even though it feels hard at the moment, even though it feels like there's too much to do and we've got this huge mountain to climb, especially with these the hero and the heroine archetype coming out, we have this huge mountain to climb and we feel blind in our walking towards that mountain, but we know that there is something on the other side. We can feel this, and that's with this Pluto in Capricorn. We can feel that we're surmounting, we are overpassing, we are breaking through a time in our lives that has really been heavy, that has really tried to wake us up to the restriction that we've actually had placed upon us externally, but that we've internalized, you know? So Pluto in Capricorn has been doing a massive doozy on this sign since 2008. So now that this is the last time ever that we're going to have Pluto and Capricorn in our lives, and now we've got Mars, who has just moved into an opposition. So he's at the start of Cancer, so it's going to take him all the way till he gets to the end of Cancer to, oppose with Pluto, and then he's actually going to go retrograde. So get ready for that next year. But this is really us having to do this push and pull between realizing where our dreams and our goals and our ambitions have to be rooted and grounded in something stable and nourishing and worthwhile in our lifestyle and in our home. We have to know this is why Venus is coming out in Cancer in the 12th. We have to be spiritually connected and grounded, and that's with Sun opposing Saturn at the moment. Sun is in Virgo, Saturn is in Pisces, and the Earth is in Pisces as well with Saturn. So this is about us really needing to see where we need to ground our spirituality into the physical. And it sounds kind of hard, and I suppose maybe we need to, as a spiritual community, start practicalizing that sort of, I suppose, phrase better, because it's like one thing to say ground your spirituality into a practical way, but what does that even look like? What does that even mean? I think it actually is different for everyone. I think grounding your spirituality into the physical would literally be different for every single person on the planet. I think it depends on you. I think it depends on how you feel connected with spirit and how you feel aligned and in your life. I think that everyone is so different, so I couldn't possibly say that this is the way. To be honest, I would look at it chart-wise, and I would be looking at your overall chart, but I would be looking at Pisces and Virgo, and I would be looking at, okay, where is this in my chart? Say you have Pisces and Virgo ruling the 5th house and the 11th house, well then you get your deepest sort of joy in this life and your sense of spiritual satisfaction through the collective, through the people that you're spending time with, through helping other people, through your friendship group. So it's about understanding that within yourself. That's why astrology is so cool, because you can kind of see it for everybody. For me personally, I have Pisces on the 6th house. Mine's backwards, so I have Pisces in my Virgo and I have Virgos in my Pisces, which means that I am here to literally make my day-to-day reality the dream. Literally, I need to fall in love with doing the dishes. That's the kind of energy. So this is very much the vibe that's coming out. We need to fall in love with the dishes. We need to fall in love with the annoying little things. The servant and the queen. You cannot make this shit up. Like, literally, the servant and the queen. You are both the queen and you are both the servant. You are both. We are both. So this is about us needing to serve the queen aspect of ourselves, to serve the inner king. The sun is the king. So when the sun is in an opposition with Saturn, this is us needing to serve the sun. The Saturn is in Pisces. Serve the sun. Serve the joy. Serve the light. Serve the vibrance that you are. Servant says delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. This is being in service. Very much all this Libra energy. This is not serving because you want to get something out of it. That is North Node Aries. That is, I want this for me, so I'm going to do this for you. It's about actually being in a genuine sort of vibe. Shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. And I feel like that is a huge thing that's coming up for the collective at the moment with all of this Lilith action in Libra at the moment today. Very much people feeling like they don't have the resources. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough this. We don't have enough that. Lack mentality, lack mindset. So the queens do not have a lack mentality. Queens do not have a lack mindset. They have an abundance mindset. So this is, with the North Node in Aries, this is us needing to see where we actually hold more power to create change in our lives. We're not a victim. You see, that's North Node Aries with Chiron is seeing self as victim. And so with the South Node Libra, it's joining in a group of people that see themselves all as victims. You do that, you get lost in this life. You will be feeling absolutely like complete shit if you decide that you're going to go sit in like a corner and cry with all these other people who have decided that they're also victims. We really need to accept as a society that we've become weak when it comes to victimization. And I'm sorry, I'm going to trigger people, but if you're triggered, you're weak. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, there is a lot of weak ass people out there that can't handle life. And so, they make it a big deal when really it's like, actually stop victimizing yourself and just move forward. So that's the energy, and it's harsh. It's not a nice, and it's harsh, man. Like that felt harsh to say, that probably felt harsh to receive, and it is harsh because life can be really harsh. And with all this South Node Lilith, Libra, Venus, Moon, It's all about trying to have things too easy. It's all about trying to just make it all look, it's hunky-dory, it all looks fine, it's all great. Just because my Instagram feed looks great, nothing's wrong. You know, this is really having to get your head out of your ass and having to get your head out of the clouds and realize that there's something that you're here to serve. Serve it. You know, serve yourself, serve the people. But the Avenger, underneath that, there's like this need to avenge the part of our lives that we've just like let get away from us. I feel like that's the thing with the Avenger coming out as well. There's probably a lot of people, and the Judge underneath that in the reverse. There's a lot of people that are trying to avenge causes they know nothing about. So don't be one of those people. This is very much like the astrology is saying, don't get caught up. Lilith is there. Lilith is going to get you caught up in the weeds and tangled. It's not a nice place to be. So don't be getting caught up in thinking that you being a part of this, you know, movement is the thing that's going to change the world and change your reality and all this stuff, because it's not. Start looking back in history. Anyway, the Queen archetype says radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So this is about using your authority to become the person that you truly want to be, and to use that authority to inspire other people and to not shit on other people, you know? And then we have the gambler and the hero/heroine archetypes. Hero or heroine is passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So that's very much this vibe, is a lot of us wanting to escape. I think the difficulty at the moment, the fact that we have to climb this mountain, the only way, how is it? The only way out is through. That's pretty much this vibe. Like, it's giving me that song again. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. I'm not scared. And then it's like, we can't go over it. We can't go under it. We'll have to go through it. So that, if you're an Aussie, you probably won't know what I'm talking about. But not an Aussie, you won't know what I'm talking about. But when we were kids, we had this like song that we used to sing in school, and it was like, we're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. I'm not scared. And it's funny because that's actually the second time that's come up in these readings, and like I'd forgotten about that since I was a kid. So it's very much that energy of like needing to muster up that courage. I'm not scared. I'm going to do this. I'm going to climb the mountain, even though the mountain is really fucking steep. I'm still going to put one foot in front of the other, and I'm not going to assume that I'm going to get there all in one day. I'm just going to take my sweet ass time. And then the gambler says, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. The shadow attribute is relying on luck rather than hard work. And that is what we're going to end with today. Don't be relying on luck rather than hard work. You need to be relying on your work ethic. You need to be relying on what it is that you're physically doing and the things that you're actually physically making happen in this life. Because, you know, you can't just be hoping that life is going to present to you what you want. You have to sort of go out there and meet the universe halfway. That's what I said, ground the spirituality thing. Like, yeah, you can be in this gambler where it's like letting your intuition guide you, like let spirit guide you, let yourself be guided in a direction that feels authentic and, you know, beautiful. But don't forget that you also need to put in the work. You can't just decide that, oh, okay, well, I feel intuitively guided to become a tarot reader on the internet, so I'm just gonna like post one video and hope that that takes off, and then, you know, the universe is gonna meet me with that, and then I'm just gonna become successful of that one video, and then it's done. Cool. Ha! Now I'm successful. Yay! No, it doesn't work like that, okay? You need to meet the universe. You need to keep showing up, constantly showing that you are doing this work. You are ready to do this work. You want to do this work. You are serving God. This is us being in servant mode. Like, Virgo is literally the servant. Virgo is the servant. Virgo energy is the energy of even slavery, you know? Virgo is the one that gets the shit done. Virgo is the worker. So it's time, today is about getting to work, but letting your intuition guide you in that and not getting lost in emotions and feeling like you haven't reached the mountain yet and blah, 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 all that stuff. It's really a beautiful day if you have discernment and if you really are giving yourself the love you deserve, my friends. So I'm going to leave this reading there. I apologize, that went way longer, but it was a really big day today, so the next few days will be shorter, hopefully. But yeah, if you guys are still here with me, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Do let me know in the comments what's going on with you. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, because it really helps to spread these readings to other astro nerds like you and me. If you want to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me, you can email me down below. My website's actually down at the moment, so I'm all emails at the moment, and Instagram, so you can message me on there or drop a comment and we'll work it out. But that is it, my loves. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this fabulous message to you. Make sure you check out your channeled song, and I will see you in tomorrow's daily horoscope and all of the many other readings that will be coming ASAP. Love you guys. Peace.